All right, everyone. I wanted to take an opportunity to show you guys a little bit about how we can maximize your patient Medicinary account. So that way you can access all of your orders, current and past, see all of your invoices for collecting data for tax purposes and other reasons, and also to be able to order refills. So the process begins by going to the Root and Branch homepage. That's rootandbranchpdx.com. It's all spelled out, root and branch, Papa Delta X-ray.com. And when you land on the homepage, it looks like this. So the easiest way to get to your patient Medicinary account is to go to the For Patients tab and click Patient Medicinary Login. So that's For Patients, Patient Medicinary Login. The other way to do it is to actually scroll past the main picture, and you'll notice here under the hours of operation, there's also a button, Patient Medicinary Login. So if you click the button, or if you click from the drop-down menu, either thing is going to take you to the same location. So that's going to bring us to a patient login screen. In order for you to be able to use your patient account, your provider will have to have invited you to create an account. So if you've already gone through the process of creating an account, you'll have a username and a password that you'll use when you log in here. If you haven't created an account yet, please reach out to your provider who'll be able to send you the invite to create an account. Once you have your login credentials, we'll go ahead and log in here with one of our test patients, good old Big Bird, with his username and password. And as we log in, and you'll notice a little pop-up there, that's our password manager coming to ask us if we want to save it. This is the dashboard for your patient portal. So what's nice about this particular dashboard is that it'll give you, the reminder about our hours. And here it'll show you right on the dashboard any orders that are remaining that are outstanding for you. So if your provider sent through a formula and you get a text message or an email to pay for that formula, you can always use those links to pay for it. Or if you've logged into your patient account, you'll see that order waiting for you here. And so then you can go ahead and click it and pay for it. Most people, when they're using their patient account, they're using it for refills. And so on the dashboard, you'll see a summary of available refills down here at the bottom. And if you can find the one that you're looking for, you can go ahead and order the refill right from here. But I'd like to show you the refills tab because I think that's probably the most common place that people will go inside of their account. So when you land on your dashboard, along the top here is a little ribbon of buttons. And if we click the refills button, this will take us inside to show us any refills that are available. So if I take a look at this chart, I can see an order number, an item name, the type of formula it was, how much it weighed, the total amount of refills allowed by your provider, and the number that have been used so far, and the date that this formula will expire. These refills will expire. So Root and Branch, we can't control any of these details in terms of the number of refills allowed for your formula by your provider, nor its expiration date. So if you log into your patient account and you notice that there aren't any refills left or the formula has expired, you'll need to reach out to your provider to make changes and updates to that. Here in the Medicinary, we can't make changes without the provider's process. So they have to go in and actually do it themselves. But in this case, Big Bird has a formula that's available and it has refills. So we're going to go ahead and reorder it. So I'm going to go down to the end of the line here and I'm going to see the button Add to Cart. So when I click Add to Cart, the software is going to drop one refill into my cart. And if all I needed was one refill for this formula, then I'm good to go. But a lot of folks will want to buy multiple refills at a time. So in that case, you can just scroll back down, click Add to Cart again, and then you'll see here, now there are two items in the cart. And you can do that for as many refills as you have available, and also for as many herbs as we have in stock. Root and Branch is usually able to fill 3 to 4 weeks of a formula at a time, but if you're looking for 2 months or 3 months of a single formula, you need to let us know ahead of time so we can order herbs to fill it. We won't have enough in stock to be able to fill formulas that large. So once you have the formulas that you want in your cart, you can click the cart button, and it'll take us here to show you all the things in your cart. So we have 2 refills of the same formula. We can see the subtotal here. And then we're going to be given some questions to answer. So how are we, Root and Branch, delivering this to you? Are we shipping it to you? Are we shipping it to your practitioner? Or are we shipping it, or are you coming in to pick it up? Most folks are either shipping to themselves somewhere in the city or wherever they live. And then people who are local, some people are coming to pick things up. So if you're shipping to yourself, there should be an address here when you created your account. If there isn't, you can just add your address and put in the details. And once the system loads, it'll give you some estimations over here around delivery and shipping costs. If you're in the Portland area, in fact, if you're in the Tri-County area, the software will quote you a delivery day of 2 days, but most of the time, the delivery is next day. So it's good to keep in mind that most delivery in the Tri-County area around Portland is next day. Once we leave the Tri-County area, the delivery days are pretty accurate, and the fastest that we can offer is USPS Priority Mail. We've found that any faster systems are not guaranteed by the carriers, and people end up paying a lot of money for things that may or may not show up. So we've limited the shipping options to the carrier we find most reliable. Keep that in mind, though, that if you live across the country, if you're in Arizona, if you're on the East Coast, if you're down south, it may take a while for herbs to get to you, and so you want to anticipate that when you're ordering your refills. So once you've made your decision about how you're going to deliver it, if we're shipping to you with address, confirm your shipping, then you would just proceed to checkout. If you're going to decide, for example, that you want to pick it up, you can click the pickup option instead, and then the software will ask you what you want to do here. Who's picking it up exactly? Is it going to be you, which is usually the case? Are you sending another person, like a friend or a spouse? Or is your practitioner picking it up on your behalf? So in most cases, the pickup options are going pickup and patient. And then once you've made your choice, either pickup or ship or whatever your circumstance may be, then you're going to proceed to checkout. When you click the proceed to checkout button, it'll take you to the checkout screen. And now we're just kind of like at any other online financial exchange or online store situation that you're familiar with. So you'll end up seeing your order, you'll see any subtotals. Most people don't have any discounts or promotions. This is a basic box that shows up because occasionally we have special student options or things like that, but you're not missing anything if you don't have a discount option. It's just like any other online retailer. If you have some specific notes that you want to send to us in the pharmacy about the situation that you're dealing with, or there's some issue that you've had, you can use this order note option. If it's something very pressing about your formula, I'd strongly recommend that you give us a call, let us know about the details of it. You can leave a voicemail if we're not here, because we want to make sure that if this is something pressing about filling your formula, that we speak to someone in the Medicinary to make sure it's correct. Most people don't need to use this option, but it's there for you if it's something that is important. You can, of course, last minute change the shipping details, but this is going to auto-populate from the screen before. And then basically now you'll just enter your card information. So your name in this box, card number here, expiration, 3-digit security code. Make sure to check the box here for agree and accept terms and conditions. And when all the details are in, you'll just click the Pay Now button and the order will go through. You can also save a credit card in your file if you want, so that way you don't have to have your credit card every time. So in that case, you would just click the Add Saved Card option, and then that'll give you an option to choose that card at checkout in the future. So there's a lot of ways to make it smooth and simple. Once you click the Pay Now button, that order will show up in our system. You'll get a confirmation screen that says the order's been submitted. There will no longer be any items in your cart. And then paid orders show up at the Medicinary, and then we fill them, and you'll get a text message when it's either been shipped or when it's ready for pickup. In addition to being able to manage refills, which is the #1 thing that most people are doing here, you can also look up all of your order history and check out which things, what was the previous order that you had, and see the info sheet. So that's the piece of paper you get from us that shows you ingredients and dosage information and any specific info from your provider. And it'll also show you an invoice for what was paid for that order. So if you're looking to collect invoice information for your own financial records, this is the best way to do it. The pharmacy Medicinary doesn't have any way to generate a massive list of your transactions. The only way to get it is for you to come into your order history and download it from here. The other way, of course, would be to keep receipts at transactions in the Medicinary or when you buy things, but this is also an easy way to go back through and find the things that you paid for in the past. So that's a general overview. You have your dashboard, you have your refills, you have your order history, and then everything else about this interface works like any other online interface you've experienced before. So up here where your username is, you can click this drop down and you can see details about your account. So if you wanted to come in and change your password, you'd be able to do that here. If you needed to update your name or contact information, you can do that here. You can also come in and take a look at your payment settings and see which cards you have on file and which ones you don't. So it's a very robust patient interface that'll allow you to do everything that you need to do in order to get herbs from our pharmacy. Keep in mind that as of December 1st, 2024, Root and Branch will no longer be able to process any refills or payment information over the telephone, and so you'll need to get set up with this patient account in order to process orders going forward. If you have any questions, you can always email us at info@rootandbranchpdx.com. That's info@rootandbranch, Papa Delta X-ray.com, or give us a call during business hours, 971-288-5939. Thanks.